I want to bring you over to Texas Barndominum. I watched them grow from tens of 10,000 plus up to 52,000 in like a heartbeat. Love it, love it. Totally supportive. I bring you over here so you know if you're going to have some good entertainment if you come here. His humor with his workers. He's adjusting his channel and content. But what I'm bringing you to is number one, awesome. Well, that's kind of a biased thing here. Him and I are going to get together and do some video together or something of that nature, but we do communicate. And Erik's his name, Erik. If you guys want to talk to him directly, if you're commenting to him, he's not one to be trolled. So he'll and I'm going to prove it. What I'm going to state is that how he's willing to learn. Erik has been doing this for a very long time. He's got I don't know, untold thousands of yards under his belt, and yet he's still growing. You know how many contractors would already have told you, I know how to do it. You don't tell me what to do. I do it my way. We do it. They just shut it down. Whereas Erik, I look at my comments here. Erik, I want to open your eyes to Super P. I want to talk to him about this, about Super P. He's used it before, but I want to use his knowledge, his statement up here to expand him even more. Getting you a self-consolidated concrete. This is what's going to be even more. He's going to step his game up too, because he's doing a lot of flat work. He should be into self-consolidated concrete. No offense, Erik. I'm sending you the link. Please be supportive of my support for you. I said, baby, you missing out. SCC, self-consolidated concrete with fiber. Now, this may be with metal fiber or fiberglass. Right now, I'm dealing with a few metal fiber companies sending me samples, and we're talking about tensile strengths. And fiber is another long conversation about when it will kick in, like steel. When will it work? When does it work for you? And I'm working on some gapping of it now. I need some manufacturers to accept what I'm going to do with their product. I want to let them know ahead of time because they're donating their materials to me. I want them to know what my 10 is, and if they say my 10 is wrong, I want them talking to their engineers. I want them to say no before I do their test, before I put them in part of this testing. Because they're sending me the product for free, I'm not going to I just don't do that. I'm not like some people who say, oh, they sent it for free, I'm just going to be honest about it. I'm going to be biased about it. You sent me a product for free, I'm going to talk about the positives. I'm probably going to leave out some of the negatives, but I'm going to hit them kind of softly. I'm going to talk about their limits. But I won't say this can't. I'll talk about the limits in that part. And that's what, think about it. It's with anything, guys. If you're getting equipment and things like that on these channels, we're not going to beat them up. If you get it totally for free, then you might beat them up if you feel like you've got some grudge or something. But that's what really happens with this materials that we get. Now, if the channel even said, and I have to tell you this, none of them state, besides the Chinese that I've dealt with, state that we want you to say our product in a positive light. They leave it open. They don't nail themselves down like that. That would be bad, right? To say that. The Chinese, on the other hand, that I've gotten stuff from, they tell you, you make sure you talk about good. Talk good. You got it. You got it, baby. So anyway, and I do that. Or I don't do a video at all. So pleased to see you doing that roller tamper. He's doing a roller tamper up here in Marshalltown, guys. This is that roller tamper. I love this. I had two of them. I have one now, and I'm getting another one. But the Erik is using it now instead of the tamper that you walk behind, which is seen on. It's not over here, right here. This guy, Central Craftsman, uses this tamper there that you stamp on. Well, Erik used to use it, and now he understands the benefit of the roller tamper, and he's a customer now. He's sold. And hopefully you guys will be customer of this products too, concrete people. It really is worth it. I tell you what, if you buy it and you don't like it, you can send it to me for half price. So you're only in it for half, and I'll pay for the shipping. So if anybody buys this from like Marshalltown, you don't like it, I'll buy it back off you for half because I sell it to contract. I can sell it to contractors where I am all the time. I bring mine on the job sites, let them see it. I had two of them. The last contractor I loaned it to, he decided what a loan was really a keeper. Yeah, of course I didn't see that coming because he purchased a couple other things from me that I had, and I didn't see him keeping one item. He did try to track me down saying I had it, and I never heard from him again. Well, I know you haven't. So anyway, it's that good. All right, I'm going to have to come visit you and said that to come help with the self-consolidated thing. I really like to see him do self-consolidated. I love his channel. I stated compliments and comment. All right, so let's go to this part. I want you guys to
hear about this already, but I just cannot believe I had never used one of these.
It really does level the surface. Erik is fine-tuning his skill set with it, and I think they're getting there. I think they're getting there pretty good now. I can't tell because I can only get glimpses like this. The lines are what you care about when using a roller tamper. And you're just going across this direction. This will create a down and up valley. So I'd like to tell Erik, don't go in the same pattern as your screed board. If you can, go the other direction, because you're going to roll down and then make a flat part, then roll down, flat part, roll down. So Erik, take this in a kind manner. Come the other direction with your with this guy. It's not directional. It's directional with your valleys. But listen how great Erik's talking. Let's listen to him.
And they just work really good. And over here you can see the guys screeding. 2 guys to a board.
I'm biased on this, guys. This thing is beautiful. He's going to talk about the screed board. It's so funny. He's going to talk about the Aussies doing the single board. And yes, I have seen the Aussies do it on YouTube there. And in real life, I've seen other contractors too. With this bar, the single bar is going to show, I have yet to find one that was, save one rather, that was level, that worked when you flipped it around from the store. They're just at a level. They're just, frankly, they suck if you follow in that bubble.
I've noticed in some of the comments, some of my Aussie friends have commented on that they've never seen anything like this before. It appears that down under, they use one guy on the screed board. Their screed boards are slightly different. Obviously,
this is what we have here. They sell this too. Oh, Marshalltown obviously sells it. I've yet to find one of these levels, bubbles level. Now, so I'm biased. Marshalltown's working with me, and they're working with me with a few contractors that I deal with. So I appreciate Marshalltown, but I wish they would resource this bubble correction. I don't have that picture of that product, Marshalltown. It was one company. I'm going to have to do a correction. I was vested in that statement. I have to back it down. I have to make sure that company I'm dealing with, it's a brick company that had it, that it did have their stamp on it. So I can't talk bad about Marshalltown yet. What happened there was psychologically I saw this, I associated the two, and I just realized, no, I really don't remember if it had their stamp on it. So I retract that statement about Marshalltown being exactly one. Unless I go to that company, which I will this afternoon, and I'll put it in the comments. If it is them, sorry, Marshalltown, I will state that state what I'll state. Otherwise, I'm going to send you guys a pic, I think. I'll stamp it down there of the bubble. Hopefully that company's, well, maybe the company doesn't sell them because I did speak to the manager about it. And I showed him how off it was, and he was like, what? He took them all off his shelf right then, incidentally. And I'm not saying it was Marshalltown, but he took them all off the shelf. So how do you check a level, guys? All levels. You mark a point here and here. I don't care if it's at a level, right? Just to some degree, your bubble's got to be visible inside here. Take note of where that bubble is in there, and then flip the level around and then put it on the same exact 2 points you made on the ground or wherever you made them. Exact 2 points. Your bubble should be at the exact location again. The exact location, not a margin of error, exact. And same thing with plumb. You'll stand it again. I'm doing a video on this.
They're shorter because one guy can't handle a 16-foot screed. They also have a handle on them, and they're a lot thinner too. So just different ways to skin a cat. And
I love my man back here doing this. I'm totally loving this.
In America, we use 2 guys.
And that's right. He did say America, right. That's Erik saying America. That's right, baby.
To the screed board. Another thing that has popped up lately in the comments is some guys commenting on us not using a Viper screed.
All right, so I'm going to watch my man back here, Erik. Erik, when he's back here doing this move, right, he's got to lift off. Well,
obviously they're short.
He does not have to lift off. He can fix it at the edge, but you want
shorter because one guy can't handle a 16-foot screed. They also have a handle on them, and they're a lot thinner too. So just
So here's the kicker here, guys. I want to love to teach you guys things. You see the longer pole here? This is great. Now he's using the pole out to its limits. He should add one more pole to it. Guess what one more pole will do? It will put more head pressure here if you need to, Eric. Also, it gives a counterbalance when he goes to lift it up. Right now he's using two hands and his hip and everything. One more pole will make that thing much more lighter. It puts a counterbalance on the back end of this, and it doesn't create an issue with that. Just a little trick about don't use your poles too short. If you're gonna lay some pole, baby.
Different ways to skin a cat. In America, we use 2 guys to the screed board.
And I wouldn't recommend stopping like that. He created a divot.
Another thing that has popped up lately in the comments is some guys commenting on us not using a Viper screed.
And I love that you got clean. You're keeping your equipment clean.
That's another one that I have never used before. So I've asked finishers about the Viper.
I'm gonna kill you, Eric, if you use that damn Viper screed. Anybody watching this, I'm gonna kill you if you use Viper screeds. You gotta use, if you're gonna do it, you gotta get used to doing it. You gotta do a 3 slump. If you want to learn how to do it, all right. So if I'm gonna teach you how to do something bad, I'm gonna teach you how to do it right. To do something bad. So you're gonna need one person to learn the Viper screed. You're gonna have to do some sample sites over here of concrete on the side there. Use your Viper screed as you would typically use it out here. At that point, you're going to let that concrete set up. You're going to have to cut the concrete apart to see what happened to your stone settling it. You know what? I got another video I'm doing that with the Eric. I'm going to have to show it to you with the a fish tank where I'm showing how vibration causes rocks to fall down. I just got so much to do that I just don't have the time I'm not making the time to dedicate as much. All right, when he places this down, he should be placing it down all on a full length. Not one point, and then the other point is creating divots.
Viper screed, they tell me that they don't like it, that it pushes the aggregate down too far, that it's hard to control. I mean,
it vibrates the aggregate down, is what it's doing. And also, Viper screed, per Marshalltown's instructions, states that it's not supposed to be freelanced out here. It's supposed to run across the board. It's a Viper screed, not a Viper float. All right, it's not a Viper float like most of these people use it. And I try to help another contractor out who's doing concrete work. He took offense to it. I let him go. I let it ride. You're not going to get my free help anymore. It's not a Viper float. It's a Viper screed. So you can use the Viper screed if you use it across the top of your screed, your boards. Keep in mind that the most vibration will be felt probably at the board, so you're going to really migrate your edges, which might not be a bad thing, weakening the edges, but the 2 edges together, but you might cause curling in your concrete when heat hits it. So curling is based on your density of your concrete. Also, the variations can be an issue. Of course, the surface, ground temperature, moisture, all part of curling. Curling is a very interesting topic.
I'm not ignorant, so I imagine all the issues they're having is probably due to
like the guy on gloves.
Just not being able to use it real well or not being familiar with it.
Like to see these with some vinyl gloves.
So
gloves.
Pretty much every issue that they told me.
No vinyl gloves.
Sounds like.
I wear the cheap vinyl gloves, the dollar store glove type stores. Well, I go to a supply house that does cleaning supply house. I get a pack of 10, multiple packs of 10s, and I wear the vinyl gloves. They're great. They identify hands, because when you're working down here, quite often the guy doing this, the pulling of the trowel of the concrete and all, will hit the operator of the screed boards. Oh, it can really fill you up. Remember, my psychology part is that any attack is an attack. And even though your buddies and your friends, you know the guy didn't mean it, the amygdala part of our brain takes it immediately as, why'd you hit me, man? You know, come on now. It causes drama. So yellow on the hands, and we let it go. I also like to paint the end of my rakes and all that yellow. The guy seeing it coming in. So the dumbest thing ever is painting these tools a non-bright color. Dumbest thing ever. Paint them a bright color. They're being crisscrossed around each other. The guys can see it. So Eric, I would suggest, I'm going to have to do a video on that.
It was operator error. Again, I may be wrong. I'm really thinking about getting one, or at least trying one out. But anyway, just some of those things that I've been considering lately. I mean, after that roller screed or that roller tamper,
I call it the same thing. I call it a roller bug, a roller screed. It's a roller tamper. I do the same thing.
Man, it just kind of opened my eyes to.
Watch what Erik states here. This man in the video. This is the most important part of the video right here. Listen to what he states, how he opens his eyes. This is what we all need to do.
Man, it just kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I fell into that trap that I accuse so many people falling into, of just kind of doing things the way you've always done them, and obviously that's not always a good idea because you don't keep up with the times. Now, the roller tamper is not a new invention. They've been around for a long time, but again, back to this is how we do it. You know, we use a jitterbug, and that's what it is. So, this is, like I said, this is a metal building slab. We have number 3 rebar on the surface or on the mat. Number 3 is 3/8. So, whenever they call the number, they're talking about how many eighths is in the rebar. So, rebar, we put number 3s on the mat, 12 inches on center. We do number 5s in the beams. That's 5/8 rebar in the beams, top and bottom. And then we put stirrups every 24 inches. These are the stirrups right here. Okay, we put those every 24 inches. And then we put number 5 corner bars, 24 inches each leg. And poly, we put a 6 mil poly for a moisture barrier. We use 3,000 straight sack when we pour. That's a minimum I like to use. I don't like fly ash. As you can see, this guy's working on the ramp for the overhead door, and then the guy in the background, he's doing the bull float. You do the bull float after the roller tamper or a jitterbug, whatever.
Now, I agree with his straight edge. He's going to talk about a straight edge here. Yes. When he states about the straight edge, 100% true. That the people that don't, what he's stating here is true. People that don't say they don't need a straight edge is just, how do you verify is what he's stating. Now, right here is what I'm saying. If this was yellow tooling, this guy's got on yellow hands. It's great. I mean, reflective hands. But this yellow tooling all protects. Even the boots should be yellow, right? Which they are.
They mark it.
I got black boots now.
They will.
This is called kick screeding. You screed, you kick, screed, you kick. I'm a side-to-side man. You can screed and kick, but I believe in side-to-side because of the ripple effect of kickboarding. Kick screeding always creates this damn ripple effect. I'm not a fan of it for that. But he uses a bump cutter to flatten out his product. He's going to put the roller screed on it this direction. That's what I was saying, that it'd be awesome if you could do this direction. It'd help level it better, Erik.
Will screed perpendicular to that grade.
I know that vibrator. I got that cheap one too. I got 2 of them.
Yeah, so this is one reason I don't understand the one-man screed board operator. As you can see, they went from here to there in like a minute. That's about 20 feet by 16. You just get so much done this way. But again, I have never tried the one-man screed board method. But from what I have seen, it looks pretty slow.
I want you guys to hear the bump cutter, and then I'm going to terminate.
Maybe my Halsey friends will see this and try it for themselves. Alright, so as you can see, he's done panning the main slab. And we moved it over to the carport. And now we are
I want to get the bump cutter for you guys.
using the Alright, so there you have it. Slab. So
I'm trying to think where he adds the bump cutter in. Hold on.
10, 15, 20 minutes. How
Okay, here we go.
better to flow the slab. Poly
Erik, you're doing some good editing
It is
here.
a pan.
You're doing some great editing, Erik. There we go, right here.
It is used.
Here we go.
If it's not flat, you will find, or if you're gonna do it by hand, you can get on it. However, the next step that we use is a bump cutter. The bump cutter is a straight edge.
And look what it's doing. See the cream? It's leveling right now. He's pushing forward, so the backside we can't see. The bottom backside, he's acting like a plow. Obviously, this is higher here and here, and lower here. This straight edge will pull it apart. Now you can actually use a bump cutter to pull off the cream too. Extra water, bleed water also. You can get on it sooner with the bump cutter, but you're gonna have to make a harder surface to do it nice. Or you can use a larger flat screed, which Erik has, a larger flat float screed. I like to refer to them as because they're not really they're really not, the surface contact area is different.
That just like a screed board.
So take note again. See what it's doing there? And now the cream is leveling off here and here. And this is where he's going to reach his limit on reach pushing. These guys, you can buy these brackets, guys, and put it on some damn aluminium.
But on a handle that allows us to double check.
Now, he doesn't have the one that rotates here, I guess, because he's just dragging it back now.
And ensure that the slab is indeed flat. If it's not flat, you will find it with a bump cutter.
Right.
And you can cut the bumps and fill the low spots. It's also called a check rod.
I like the other product that he has that can rotate.
To double check that everything is
now he's running across a high
flat.
speed here.
After the bump cutter, that's when we will put a trowel machine on the slab with a floating pan. We always use floating pans.
The pan, yeah, Erik. So Erik's technique, because of his bump screeding, kick screeding, is the floating pan really, and the screed technique and the pan all give a flat surface. Now there are multiple pans. One will be from center out to there like 1/8 of an inch, and the other one might be 3/8 of an inch. There's a difference of how it works for leveling. And believe me, that pan is what Erik is saying is 100% right. Those pans really are nice. I know a lot of people don't use pans. Stop being a pansy and use the pan.
That's another way to make your slab flatter. Okay, it's going to open up the surface, but the main thing it's going to do is going to get your aggregate or the rocks that are below the surface. It's going to get those flat because it is a pan. It looks just like a pizza pan, but because it is a pan and not blades, the pan will not bridge over a low spot. So it's going to fill in the low spot. So that's why we use pans. We give it at least 2 passes with the pan, and they're going to be perfect.
And it's going to be some beautiful cream at that point. Of course, you're going to be racing on this.
Perpendicular to each other.
I'll talk about.
Because if not, you're going to create valleys. Okay, so you do minimum of 2 passes with a pan, and then at that point you can do a couple of passes with combination blades. If you're going to finish it for stained concrete, that's when I like to use my.
That's what I'm going to talk to him about. What I would like to talk to Erik about. Initial set. I want to show Erik expand his knowledge on initial set. Most contractors do not know what initial set is. They mostly know that, hey, when you get a quarter, you can put a 1/4 inch down there. It's good to go. I'm going to show them a tool that can show initial set, and you can. And he's doing his sunny area. The whole pad's out here, but obviously initial set's going to take place more so in the concrete you first pour, typically. Except for initial set might take longer over the grade beams, for example. Terminating video. I just want to share you guys this awesome channel of Erik, Texas Barndominium. Love that Erik stated that he can grow. Man, that's like amazing. You know how much I love that we're able to take new files on. I love that.
It just kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I fell into the trap that I accuse so many people falling into of just kind of doing things the way you've always done them. And
that's right, baby. And now I'm going to teach Erik. I hope to teach Erik. Hope you let me teach him. Be honored to teach him. These guys here, self-consolidated concrete. Man, this thing will flow. It's going to be some awesome stuff. It's very scary because it costs a lot of money. This is, a $1,000 truckload. He's got 3 trucks here. 4 trucks showed up, something like that. That's $4,000. Pretty scary to do that the first time out. So ultimately, I got to find some concrete company that's willing to sponsor Erik on one round of self-consolidated concrete. If you don't know that, Erik, that's what I've been trying to find for you, believe it or not. Talk to you. I'm out.